Welcome back to our channel, dear friends. I have to tell you, my heart has just been in an absolute twist lately trying to make heads or tails of what is going on with the incredibly talented Ryan Pavey and his most recent time on our beloved General Hospital. It feels like just yesterday, we were all sitting on the edge of our seats, clutching our pearls and holding our breath as the drama unfolded right before our very eyes on the screen. The situation with Cassius West has been nothing short of a massive whirlwind that left so many of us feeling completely dizzy. From what we have seen and been told, that man seemingly faked his own passing and just vanished into thin air without leaving so much as a single breadcrumb behind for anyone to follow. It is exactly the kind of frustrating mystery that keeps you up at night, wondering what the writers are cooking up next for these characters we love so dearly. And then, of course, we have to talk about sweet, wonderful Nathan West. Oh, goodness gracious, it still brings a heavy tear to my eye. Just thinking about him and the tragic way his story ended. As far as we know, Nathan is still resting in peace, leaving a massive hole in our hearts that just never quite seems to heal, no matter how much time passes by. The contrast between these two situations is just as stark as night and day, and it really pulls at the heartstrings. On one hand, you have Cassius pulling the wool over everyone's eyes and slipping away into the dark shadows. It makes a person wonder what kind of heavy secrets he is carrying with him. On the other hand, the absolute finality of Nathan's fate is a heavy, sorrowful burden that the residents of Port Charles and all of us watching at home have had to carry for years. It is a true testament to the incredible, undeniable talent of Mr. Pavey that he can make us feel such deep, conflicting emotions all at the same time. He has this remarkable, rare ability to draw you right into the television screen, making you feel every single ounce of joy, confusion, and sorrow right alongside the characters. Now, I know a whole lot of us were holding out hope, crossing our fingers and our toes, that we would be seeing his handsome face on our screens every afternoon for a very long time to come. However, the honest truth of the matter is that his most recent contract was never meant to be a permanent fixture in our daily lives. It was always structured as a short-term arrangement, and his time playing Nathan and Cassius this year always had an expiration date stamped right on it from the very beginning. It is always such a bitter pill to swallow when you realize that a favorite star is packing up their dressing room and moving on. But I suppose that is just the unpredictable nature of the television business. As sure as the sun rises in the east, they come into our living rooms, become a cherished part of our daily routines, and then, before you even know it, they are off to their next great adventure. But let me tell you, this talented young man is certainly not letting the grass grow under his feet. Bless his heart, he has not wasted a single second sitting around and waiting for an opportunity to come knocking on his front door. He went right out there and found himself a brand new job, and I could not be more thrilled and proud of him. In fact, the wonderful word on the street is that he is going to be stepping right back in front of the camera to start filming his brand new project as early as this coming September. It just goes to show that when one door closes, another one opens wide, especially for someone with his kind of strong work ethic and undeniable gentlemanly charm. Just the other day, he decided to have a little bit of fun with all of us devoted fans by sharing the most cryptic, teasing post over on his Instagram page. He proudly announced that he would be heading back to work next month, but he playfully added that he could not spill the beans just yet. He told everyone that there was a hidden clue tucked away in the photograph he posted, and, well, you know how much we all love a good, old-fashioned mystery. It is just so like him to keep us guessing and smiling all at the same time. If you take a moment to look closely at that picture he shared, it is just as clear as a ringing bell that something wonderfully festive is brewing in the air. There he was, dressed up in the most delightful, holiday-appropriate attire, looking as handsome and dashing as ever. And if that cozy outfit was not enough to give the big secret away, there was the unmistakable, joyous sound of Christmas music playing softly in the background of the post. To top it all off, the original post traced back to a wonderful production company called Justice and Ponder. Now, you certainly do not need to be a seasoned police detective to put those puzzle pieces together and realize that our dear Ryan is getting ready to sprinkle some much-needed holiday magic on our screens once again. And goodness knows he is certainly no stranger to bringing the warmth and joy of the holiday season right into our homes. Over the years, he has become an absolute staple of those wonderful, heartwarming Christmas movies that we all love to curl up with when the weather turns cold and the snow starts to fall. Do you remember when he starred in that beautiful film, Hope at Christmas, back in 2018? Watching that movie was just like wrapping yourself in a warm, comforting blanket on a chilly winter evening. And then he absolutely charmed our socks off in Christmas at the Plaza the very next year. He has this wonderful, old-fashioned gentleman quality about him that makes him the absolute perfect leading man for these kinds of sweet, uplifting, and wholesome stories. The list of his holiday hits just goes on, each one feeling even more delightful and touching than the last. He brought such a wonderful, grounding presence to a timeless Christmas in 2020, and then he swept us all away again in Coyote Creek Christmas the following year. I still fondly recall sitting down with a hot cup of tea to watch A Fabled Holiday in 2022, and most recently, I absolutely adored his performance in Under the Christmas Sky just last year. When you sit down to watch one of his beautiful holiday films, you just know deep in your soul that you are in for a lovely treat. There is no heavy heartbreak, no dark, dangerous alleys of Port Charles to worry about, just good, wholesome romance, beautiful snowy scenery, and a guaranteed happy ending that leaves your heart feeling light. Now, like so many of the beloved, familiar stars who have graced the Hallmark Channel over the years, he has also been known to take on wonderful roles over at the Great American Family Network. At this very moment in time, it is still a bit of a well-kept secret exactly which of these two wonderful networks will be the official home for his upcoming Christmas movie. But honestly, whether he is bringing the cheer on Hallmark or spreading joy on Great American Family, I know that all of us will be tuning in with bells on our toes. We will just have to be a little bit patient and wait for the official announcement to be made. And you can bet your bottom dollar that as soon as the news breaks, we will be talking all about it right here together. In the meantime, however, we do have to face the music regarding his departure from General Hospital. I know there have been plenty of whispers and hopeful rumors floating around town, with folks hoping against hope that he might stick around daytime television just a little while longer. But sadly, it seems those rumors are just wishful thinking on our part. His exit from the show last month appears to be the real deal, set in stone. It is always so incredibly hard to say goodbye, even when we know he is moving on to such lovely, happy new projects. You just cannot help but deeply miss seeing him mix it up with all the familiar faces in town, bringing his unique spark to the daily drama. It really gets my mind wandering, though, thinking about the incredible lasting legacy he leaves behind on the show. Can you imagine the absolute uproar and the sheer emotional weight it would bring if the story somehow magically allowed both Nathan and Cassius to return to the canvas? The very thought of it sends shivers right down my spine. There is such a deep, lingering haunting that surrounds their memories in Port Charles. It is as if their presence is permanently woven into the very fabric of the town, a quiet shadow that never quite fades away no matter how much time passes by or how many new faces come and go. When you stop and think about Maxie and her precious family, the heartbreak is just palpable and so very real. Even though her family has had to move away from certain situations, leave the past behind, and try their hardest to build a new life from the ashes of their grief, they are never truly free from the ghosts of the past. The haunting memory of Nathan's pure, unwavering, and beautiful love contrasted so sharply with the dark, mysterious, and unsettling disappearance of Cassius creates this incredibly heavy blanket of responsibility. It is a profound responsibility to remember, to honor, and to somehow make peace with the terrifying fact that the people you love the absolute most in this world can be taken away from you or simply vanish without a single trace. That is the true magic, and at times, the profound tragedy of these beautiful soap opera stories we invest our hearts and souls into every single day. The characters of Nathan and Cassius are not just names printed on a script. They represent the enduring emotional scars and the beautiful, fragile memories that the surviving characters must carry with them every single day of their lives. Every time Maxie looks at her children, every time she faces a new, daunting hurdle in her life, you can feel the unseen, lingering presence of the men who shaped her world so deeply. It is a true testament to the incredible storytelling of the writers and the unforgettable performances of the actors that we are still sitting here today, pondering the deep emotional impact of their lives and their sudden absences. So, while we may be closing this particular chapter on his time in Port Charles for now, we are certainly not saying a final, forever goodbye to the wonderful man who brought these unforgettable characters to vibrant life. We will carry the sweet memories of Nathan, and the intriguing mystery of Cassius in our hearts, right alongside the characters who love them so fiercely. And as the summer leaves eventually begin to change and the cozy holiday season slowly approaches, we can all look forward with eager anticipation to seeing that familiar, comforting smile lighting up our television screens once again. He is sure to bring us a brand new, heartwarming story filled with hope, joy, and a little bit of that special Christmas magic we all need.